Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's GalJ007 here with another video of D&D style RPG. Last time we left off having a tough decision whether we needed to run away or if we wanted to prepare to get bitten. I actually lost a little bit of footage. I recorded and then for some reason it didn't record properly. This is the segment after I chose to actually stay. We lost one life, and I apologize for that. I really wanted to make the decision with you guys. But with that said, let's continue the story. But also, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to do the YouTube things, like, subscribe, and do bell notifications so you guys can see the next video. I try to upload at least every Sunday. It doesn't happen every time, especially now with the holidays. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. And if you're new again, make sure you start from the beginning so you know exactly what's going on. And let's get started. All right, so again, last I chose to stay. There was no point in running away. Cibah has us pinned down, and I feel like if we try to run away, it's worse. So we chose to stay, just prepare for the worst. They took a bite of our neck, and actually, we lost one life. So there is no point in resisting, you reason. They will force you anyways, which would be the meaning at the least, and could get you killed. If you want to destroy Unroll and undo what you inadvertently played a role in bringing about, you need to stay alive. Alive? As a vampire? What does that mean, and what will remain of my soul, you wonder? There is little choice but to find out. You nod at Narissa. When she bites down and your neck, it only stings for a moment, and then your senses fade, as though you are descending underwater. Dimly, you hear Cibah giving instructions. Not too much! Do not kill him! In response, Narissa slows her gulping. Balor the Cruel, I call upon you to take this flesh as your own, intones Cibah. What if I call upon a demon to transform me? A demon I choose, you wonder. Although you obviously do not relish the thought of any demon invading your mind and body, at least it would be one not of Cibah's choosing. You remember the names of some of the demon souls you met in the holding chambers. Which do you invite to unite with? So we have Delvac the Chaotic, Sarandel the Cunning, and Farnelius the Indomitable. So in this case, I want to say Sarandel the Cunning, just because, as a wizard, I feel like cunning would be the right way to go. I actually don't really remember what they were offering. I know one of them obviously involved power, which I'm assuming is Farnelius. But I'm gonna go with Sarandel the Cunning, and let's see what happens. Hope for the best. Even as your life ebbs away, you muster the strength to whisper, Sarandel, Sarandel the Cunning, take my flesh as your own. If it is I who invites the demon rather than Unrule, will the summoned soul be bound to my will rather than Unrule's? Unlike the minutes it took for the ritual you observed during Narissa's transformation, your transformation takes place almost at the same instant of your invitation. Perhaps the invitation of the victim trumps that of the maker? You barely have this thought before Sarandel comes. Waves of anger, hatred, and despair wash over you. I must hold to something or I will be consumed. Something I hold dear, you think. But what? Your dear childhood friend Reginald? Could you hold on to the need of vengeance for him? That is what has driven you this far. What about Narissa? You feel something for her, but what is she now? She is feeding on you. What about magic? That has been a love of yours as long as you remember. But what is it to hold on to magic? What do you concentrate on? All right, so we have the vengeance for Reginald, love of Narissa, love of magic. This one is tricky. Narissa's gone. I don't think we can save her, unfortunately. I feel like I'm never gonna end up with anybody. Vengeance for Reginald. That way we always remember where our mission is. I think that's probably the right one. Love of magic. Like, I don't think I can forget magic, right? Let's do vengeance for Reginald because we need to make sure that our demon is angry enough to attack Cibah, which honestly, even though they haven't said it, I think she was the one that actually did kill Reginald, unfortunately. So vengeance for Reginald. All right, so we lost one life, but we did get more morale, which is awesome. Vengeance for Reginald is what has driven you this far, and so perhaps this purpose will shelter some part of you, serve as your anchor even as you merge with the demon. You envision Reginald as a little boy when the two of you played on the streets of Ring City. You then picture him as that smiling adolescent urging to join him in mischief about town. And then finally, as the adventurous and ever hopeful young man. Brothers. We were as brothers. That thing ripped out my brother's soul for a pittance of power. I will send Unruh back to his master and his deserved torment. As you hold your thoughts on Reginald, you are dimly aware of the dark storm around you. The demon within you is ripping through your mind with glee. Finally, free to exert his terrible will. And then it is over. You find yourself on the floor, a small pool of blood beneath you. Your vision and hearing return and are even heightened, well beyond your former human limits. You wince in pain from the magnitude of your new senses. We are one, you and I. We shall never die, says a voice in your head, like your own, but not yours. It is time to bring justice, demon. There is no justice, there is only power. Then it is time to rise up and seize it. Unruh, master, it is I, Balor, you say as you stand up. Unruh nods. Balor, my slave, the gods will shudder after we are done with this world. As is your will, you say. You walk to Unruh and fall to one knee. There, now, Balor, you need strength. Cibah points to the bound man at the table. This one is still fresh. After we have eaten, we shall start with. She does not finish her sentence as you leap up with binding speed and drive your dagger hilt deep up under her chin and into her brain. Cibah, bound in soul to the demon Unruh, falls to the ground and does not move. Woohoo! Yeah! Narissa suddenly appears next to you. I take heart in his soul, returning to the abyss, even as I mourn what I did to you. Unruh's spawn destroyed her. The voice in your head commands. Without a thought, you stab your dagger on Narissa's throat. Oh no! Wasn't she what? I take her card in his soul, returning to the abyss, even as I mourn what I did to you. So was she like back to herself, and we still cut her throat? I was not expecting that. Not at all. With lightning reflexes, Narissa bends backwards, narrowly avoiding your blow. She anticipated the attack, you think. You pursue and slash at her again. She dodges and kicks you in the face, sending you across the room. Control your demon, wizard, she exclaims as you regain your feet. Jacob waits outside. We shall require our combined strength to defeat him. You have slain Unruh, my master, and therefore I am no longer bound. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay, so we didn't get to hit her, cut her throat, which is good. She's still under the control apparently, but she's trying to be friends with us. So, I guess we'll have a demon cleric and a demon wizard. Heck yeah! Abomination, you shall slay me when I least expect. You say. She laughs. My what hypocrisy? And what would I gain by slaying you? Narissa strides over to the bound man who groans softly. She picks him up by his collar, drags him near you, and drops him to the floor. Drink. That attack of yours was pathetic. You are slow and weak. You do not answer. Do this. I will remain on the other side of the room so you can feed in peace. Once you have finished, we shall both deal with Jacob, she says. What do you do? Okay. So here I think if we keep on feeding, we're making the demon stronger. Which we do want to be stronger for sure. Well, now we can even attack people with daggers, apparently. So we are gonna feed. If they continue to ask me this, I'll probably not do as many. But for this one, just so we can become stronger, maybe gain a little bit of life, I think we are gonna feed on that person, unfortunately. Poor dude, but I have decided. Feed on the man. All right, so we did gain some life, but we did lose some morale. Just I guess that was a bad choice. Just a taste, then, you say. The man shudders as you bite down. It's so good. You want to stop, but cannot bring yourself to pull away. When you awaken from your ecstasy, you are on the floor on top of the now drained, dead man. God, forgive me, you mutter, wiping your face. Narissa's eyes are sad, but she says nothing. Jacob waits. I can smell him, you say. There are two of us, says Narissa. Nevertheless, I think we should prepare. How? He waits in ambush, no doubt. There is only one exit. We can do little more than stand back to back and walk out the door, says Narissa. What do you do? I'm gonna throw Cibah's head out the door. That sounds good. Then he'll see it, get crazy, scream. Then we know his position. So I think that's the right choice. My morale is gonna go down, man. What? Life decreased by 3? No. With your dagger, you saw off Cibah's head, a task only possible thanks to your much greater strength. This is hardly fitting treatment for this poor girl's corpse. However, you do not want to risk any chance of the vampire regenerating. Back to the abyss for you, on rule never to return. Carrying the head by the hair, you open the door and throw it out. A moment later, there is an enraged shout, and you see Jacob streaking down through the air at you with his huge bat wings. Narissa evidently sees him too, because she jumps out of the door and takes flight. They collide in the air, grapple with one another, and then spiral down to the ground. You run up to them with blinding speed and begin slashing Jacob with your dagger and teeth. He smashes into you with one of his hooves. You fly through the air and crash to the ground. You get up and return to the fray. Eventually, the two of you overpower him, and he lies mangled and motionless. You cut his head off and throw it, and his sisters, into the nearby underground river. The rest of the night is a blur of slaughter. The two of you are terribly effective together. You start with the crypt. No longer needing a lantern, you stalk through the pitch-black labyrinth of sarcophagus-lined halls and chambers. The zombies shy away at your approach, but, of course, you rend them apart all the same. There are living priests down here, too, performing their wicked ceremonies. You fall upon these men and women greedily, not trying to turn them. Rather, you drink and then kill swiftly. By the time you have worked your way to the upper chambers of the temple, you are so overfed that you are vomiting blood. After that, you only break the necks of the living you encounter. Most of the children of the rule you find in the temple are engaged in mundane activities like eating or sleeping, but you give this no mercy than those you found in the crypt. Nevertheless, at some point, you are able to control your rage and the ferocious demon inside enough to keep a few of them alive. Bound and gagged, you will want them for questioning later. You finally make it back to the entrance chamber of the temple, where you catch one harpy on the floor. She is so intent upon the remains of some child she has snared, she knows nothing of you before you yank her head around. The crank of her spinal column snapping fills you with a moment's pleasure. Narissa, meanwhile, unfurls her wings and takes flight after the other sisters. They have enough sense to flee before the enraged vampire, and so Narissa only sends one of their number, shredded and minus a wing, to the floor before all of her sisters escape into the city night. Only when you see the pale of dawn through the temple windows do you finally stop hunting. You return to the crypt to rest. As you shut the door, you smile. Avenging Reginald's death fills you with a dark sense of satisfaction, and you take a few seconds to whisper a prayer dedicated to what is left of Reginald's soul, wherever it has gone. Although you have struck a mighty blow against evil in the city, you know what you are now and harbor no illusion as to what the good people of the city will do if they discover your true nature. What secrets are held in the demon book you recovered, and what will you do with the secrets? And what of the other vampires? Cibah implied there were others on the loose. Finally, what of the demon prince? Who is he, and what will he do now the minions of his have escaped to roam his world? Indeed, One of his demons is inside you. To be continued. Wow, guys, that was a good chapter. Um, Show stats for this volume. So I guess we're going to the next chapter next. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of technical issues, so I do apologize. Even just recording, it kept crashing on me. So we're back to full health, which is awesome. But apparently we're not gonna get mana back, so I guess we're not wizards anymore. We're vampires. So we're gonna focus on strength decisions now, which I think is a little bit better because having to rely on mana was good. We had good powers, but I don't know. I don't think it was useful to have a second thing that we needed to worry about. But guys, anyways, thank you very much. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'll try to edit it so that you can't really tell the spots that it crashed. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next one.